I am editing my life.
Kolkata is a city celebrated and scarred by time. It is a city with a past at once glorious and traumatic, monumental and persisting. It is a city where big dreams were dreamt. A city that witnessed the ebb and tide of history, like the Indian Renaissance, anti-colonial struggles, freedom movement and Naxalite revolts. The very heart and soul of Sonar Bangla, Kolkata is the city that gave birth to great minds like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Keshab Chandra Sen, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Vivekananda, Rabindranath Tagore, Jagdish Chandra Bose, Satyendranath Bose, Bankim and Sharat Chandra Chatterjee. This is the city where the East India Company first established their headquarters and where they nurtured their imperial dreams. It was also home to freedom fighters like Arabindo, Rash Bihari Bose, Subhash Chandra Bose and Bipin Chandra Pal. Its cityscape, streets and lanes, monuments and buildings still bear the marks of its colonial heritage, and its humanscape the city's Renaissance spirit. Like colonialism earlier, cinema too came to Kolkata in its nascent stage. With the first bioscopes enchanting Calcutta audiences from the 1890s. The magical art of cinema fired the imagination of Shonar Bangla, inspiring many a creative and restless mind to find expression in that universal medium. It was Hiralal Sen who established the first film production company in India, the Royal Bioscope Company, in 1898, and produced the earliest silent films in the country. An array of theatres like Classic, Star and Minerva theatres became the cynosure that attracted and created a new, modern and secular public in Calcutta. The pioneering works of people like Dhirendranath Ganguly, Pramathesh Barua and Devaki Bose contributed to what was later to become the Indian film idiom and narrative ethos. In the next decades, some of the old-time greats of Indian cinema, like Bimal Roy, Satyajith Ray, Ghatak, Tapan Sinha and Mrunal Sen, created their greatest work in and around this enchanting city. Arabindo Bhatacharji, this lean old man in his late 80s, belongs to this illustrious family of film personalities. An editor par excellence, he worked with many of these stalwarts, dedicating his life and energy to create some of the most enchanting celluloid narratives of his time.
I am entered in the film industry through my relative Solil Chowdhury. I have no work, and after my passed the matriculation examination, I was sitting idle. So Solil Chowdhury, he told me to go with me and join the film industry. So I very much interested to join in the film in 1952 as an assistant of Hrithik Ghatak. Solil Chowdhury, I know him from the 1942 because my sister is reading BA under the Solil Chowdhury. He is the teacher of my elder sister. And after that, she will marry the Solil Chowdhury. After that, I joined with the Dulal Datta, editor of Pather Pachali of great Satyajith Ray. My guru is the Nirmal De, who is director of the Chapardangar Bow, he is director. He also the technical know-how for editing, camera and direction, art direction. He learned me how you edit this film. Individually edited the Ganga with the direction of the Rajen Tarafdar. It is a Samoros Bose's story and music conducted by Solil Chowdhury. There is a song of Manna De, Kul Nai Shima Nai Athoi Doirar Pani. It's a great song. It's a 1 lakh feet exposed and the picture is 9,000. Because it is on the water, nobody can control this boat on the water. So take after retake, take after retake. It will they will spend a lot of money for this picture, and the picture is also good. Ruma Guha Thakrata, a wife of Kishore, ex-wife of Kishore Kumar. She is the heroine of this film. I have started my editing on this movie. After that, the screen type of movie. and 3 channel is the 2 sound channel, one for music, one for effect and one for picture. 3 channel are there. After that the moviola, latest model moviola will come in Calcutta. Then after that the Steinbeck will come. I edited in the Bombay, the Rajkamal studio and RK Films. So there are 4 dishes, 1 picture, 1 sound. But this Steinbeck all are 6 plated. 1 picture, 2 sound, that is 336 plated. And 1 16 and 35 combined picture. That time this is negative editing, na? Picture and sound, both the negative editing, no rush print system. After editing, they will print 1 copy for releasing a copy. Ajantrik Bhatacharji is a good person, because when he is the Chief Minister of West Bengal, he started the Rupayan West Bengal Film Development Corporation. At the time I was there. I am the president of the Film Editor Association. So every time he called me how we can run this laboratory and the meeting. When he will call the meeting, then he called me to tell how to run this laboratory. I saw the Pather Pachali in Bengal Film Laboratory, where is making this Pather Pachali. Because I work in this laboratory, no? My picture, that Chapadangar book also developing and printing on the same laboratory. I go to Madras for 1 piece of negative developing in Technicolor, developed in the color lab in Gemini. They told me it is not possible to Technicolor system. This is the only color developing laboratory. So I can this way I can develop this. This is Nambi. He is the laboratory in charge at that time. He developed this negative and I bring this negative to Calcutta, and then I send to Technicolor lab for processing. I go to Hyderabad for editing a film of color film in the Ramoji Rao studio, and I stay there more than three months for editing in Ramoji Rao studio. That is Prajapati. Biplab Chatterjee is the director of this film. My first color film is the Tata Golden Jubilee film in Technicolor color. Feature film, I think it is on the Sri Patro. Sri Patro, directed by Purnendu Putri. It is a Rabindranath Tagore story. Madhavi Mukherjee, she is the heroine of this film, and the picture is hit. Now there is no question of film editing, because the film is not in Bengal. There is no laboratory to developing the picture negative here. Though it is a black and white or color or anything, or any sound negative. There is no laboratory in Calcutta. There is 4 or 5 very good theatre hall in Calcutta, but now all are closed. All the theatre, commercial theatre is closed. Last spring, that is a wheelchair and the Potibondi, Tapan Singha. That is my last fair.
Left behind and forgotten by the Indian film industry and rendered obsolescent by new technologies, this 85-year-old editor par excellence now lives in an old age home in Toliganj. Is it a historical irony that this eminent editor of the post-independence decades now finds refuge in a building that still belongs to the East India Company?
My son, he is a hotel management student. He started this business in 2007. After in December, 2007 December, he started this hotel in the name of Red Pepper, and he expired on the 11th March 2008. So I have to run this hotel on his behalf, because there are so many people are working here. They are earning bread and butter from here, so I have to run this hotel for this cause.
আমাদের নেগোসিয়েশন করেই বিয়ে হয়েছিল 1962-এ। তখন জানতাম বলেছে ফিল্মে কাজ করে বলতে আমার তো তখন কোনো অভিজ্ঞতা ছিল না, তখন আমার 15 বছর বয়স। একটা গঙ্গা ছবি নিয়ে বিরাট হইচই হচ্ছে কিনা, ভালো এডিটিং হয়েছে, তার আগে ডকুমেন্টারি করতো, অনেক নাম করেছে হরিসাধন দাশগুপ্তর কাছ থেকে। কিন্তু সেই আনন্দ দেবার পরিবর্তে কোনো, তখনকার দিনে তো এখনকার মতন এত টাকার লেনদেন ছিল না, তখন সামান্য টাকায় ছবি হতো, সামান্য টাকা পেত। তার মধ্যে কিন্তু আমরা আনন্দে বা তার মধ্যে এত ছিল না, তার মধ্যে কিন্তু আমাদের পুরো সংসার খুব আনন্দেই চলতো। বা এখনও পর্যন্ত আমার ছেলে নেই, কিন্তু বরাবরই আমাদের একটা শিল্পী, ওর বাবাও ফিল্ম করেছে, ওর কাকাও ফিল্ম করেছে। তখন বুঝলাম যে না, এরাও তো ফিল্মের সঙ্গেই যুক্ত ছিল, যে গান বাজনা সমস্ত কিছুই যুক্ত ছিল। সেই সঙ্গে সঙ্গে আমার সেই প্রভাবটা আমার মধ্যে ছড়িয়ে পড়েছে যে না, এটাকে আরও জানলে বা আরও করলে আরও জ্ঞান বাড়বে।
Hrithik Ghatak is a great director in India, and he is a good dramatic sense and the camera composition sense. As a man, he is a very very friend with us. He never say, I am a technician, I am a editor, or I am the assistant editor. He never think in this way. He is always say, এই এদিকে আয়, হ্যাঁ এই কাজ কর, এই জল এনে দে, চা এনে দে. He is still like this. He is behave like a brother. When he is making the film, then he is a separate person. He doesn't care his family is eating or he is dying or he is fevering. He never think in this way. He is think about to complete the film. Rishikesh Mukherjee is a great man. He is a great man, like he is an editor, he is a director, he is a story writer, he is a script writer. He can write the song. He is a great person. I also his assistant in Calcutta. He will edit 3-4 film. So many times I meet with Bimal Rai, with his daughter Rinki Bhattacharji, is the wife of Basu Bhattacharya, a film director. Do Biga Jamin, that is a great film of Bimal Rai. Uttam Kumar is a great artist in Bengal, great artist, that I must say. And when he give the rehearsal, every day he called to me, Arabindo, come and see the rehearsal of the music rehearsal. So after I meet their rehearsal, 7 or 10 days, so I also learn the music. Dhai kuda kudu dhaska pet, kakud bakud bhajai pet, dikina dhakud, dikina dhakud, dikina dhakud dha, dikina dhakud a, kutkuda kud a. So Uttam Kumar is doing 7 days rehearsal. I also practice this at the time, and I work with him. Indrani, Chawa Pawa, and Rajlokhi Shikanto, and Sondha Dibet Shikha, Sheshanko, Sarmila Tagore and Uttam Kumar casting. Mrinal Sen, I know him from 1942, when he is doing the Communist Party. That time he is not a reputed director. After that, he start his career with producer and NFDC and film division. They will start career slowly. And when Mrinal Sen, all the picture in black and white or color destroy in the chemical pollution of laboratory in the world. So he called me, you repair my old film under this Nandan laboratory in Rupayan. So I repair all the Baishe Saron and so many film of Mrinal Sen. I repair on the negative to replace the negative from the dupe from the positive. Then I replace the dirty portion from the whole roll. I start my career in film industry with editor and director and also a documentary film maker. So it is very difficult to switch off from editing and direction to switch off over this hotel business in my life, because it is very difficult. Because in my 60 years in the film industry, I have edited more than 200 feature film, documentary film, newsreel, and also I produce documentary film like Abanindranath Tagore and Ramkinkar Beij and Mother Teresa and Khirer Putul. So when I produce this documentary, I call the big director like Purnendu Putri, Rajen Tarabdar and Bimal Bhaumik and so many big directors who can a big name in the documentary film making. Also the Gautam is a good documentary film maker. Sometimes I call him to direct my film.
I know Arabindo Bhatacharji for many, many years, I think more than 3 decades. Actually, when I started making shorts and documentaries, then he was an established editor. And before that, of course, he was the chief assistant of Hrishikesh Mukherjee and contributed a lot in many important films. And I remember Arabindo Bhatacharji in his heydays, quite flamboyant, sometimes funny, and always caring for young technicians. And we shared some wonderful moments in those days. And also, we were asking many questions to these senior technicians in those days, and he was always ready to answer it. A couple of months back, there was a news in the media that veteran editor Arabindo Bhatacharji is running a small restaurant, and that's how they are living, or they are sort of carrying their livelihood. Of course, I was in touch with him for many, and also I met him a couple of months back in a function. He said that this is the tragedy, and his wife told me, why don't you make a film on the tragedy of a technician? Then I was thinking, is it a tragedy or it has its own dichotomy? Because at one hand, in our country, there's hardly any benefits for technicians and artists, who really not in the job, not in in his profession anymore. And I remember in those days, Arabindo Bhatacharji, being a senior editor, he was cutting negatives at Rupayan. That was his only job. Because, even though it became non-linear, the offline, but the final negatives were being cut, and they had to cut the negative. Because in still those days, there was no digital projection. It was only film print. So I was in pain that Arabindo Bhatacharji has edited so many successful films, now only making negative cutting. He said, what to do? I have to leave. So negative cutting is fine for me. I can earn little money. I have many fond memories with him, and I believe that the kind of profession now he is in, it's another kind of adventure. Why not? Because, human being can do anything, and that's very important for your stomach. Even if not butter, at least you have to earn bread. But I believe Arabindo Bhatacharji will live his life with dignity and with a lot of memories of his work, his days with Hrishikesh Mukherjee, his own works. And I feel always, very happy that I know a wonderful person and brilliant technicians like him.
When I started my work as independent film director, he also joined with me, and I am fortunate that I got his talent in my films, and he is very meticulous, very disciplined, very organized. He's a nice personality, a soothing personality, because in that period, you know, that technique of editing is very time taking, especially the movie wala system. You need a lot of patience, and from the morning he will come, even after the evening also he is in same smiling, and he is contributing his artistic contribution towards my film in my documentaries as an editor, but he is always in a laughing pace. We come to know that he is running a hotel which is on footpath, and this is very unfortunate to film industry that this type of people, without his those contribution, we can't run this film industry. They can't get work, not even the work. They are not livelihood with the prestige. It is very shame towards our film industry.
Calcutta is one of the places where the film industry began in this country. So that Arabindo Bhatacharji and people like him who have given their whole life for the industry should be in such dire straits should come as no surprise to anybody. That of course doesn't take away the tragedy from their lives, but people who know the ins and outs of the film industry, they are not surprised.
The plight of film technicians like Arabindo Bhattacharya is not an exception in India's film history. People like him, who sacrifice their lives to make what Indian cinema is today, are more often than not left by the wayside and have to fend for themselves. In the case of many technician artists like him, their very subsistence is under threat, leave alone their contributions being recognized and applauded. They have no place in the din and bustle of centenary celebrations and film festivals. As film lovers, we have to resist such criminal indifference and forgetfulness, and reclaim and reassert memory and history. Only through such humble acknowledgement and earnest acts of remembrance can we hope to do justice to their sterling contribution to the flesh and blood, the art and craft of Indian cinema.
Dulal Datta is a great film editor, but he is not outside editor. He is only the editor of Satyajith Ray. So he cannot expose his life and career in the market, because Satyajith Ray is a so big personality. He cannot give any credential to any technician of his unit, like his cameraman, like Subrata Mitra and Bangshi Chandragupta art director and Dulal Datta editor. He doesn't get. Only he wants to take editing and camera work, and he goes to the outside India and take the Golden Lion and so many award, but he cannot introduce his technician in the camera. This is the editor. It's a very good editor, or very good cameraman, or very good art director.
Dulal Datta is known in Bengal for his association with Satyajith Ray. But I doubt very much whether he was well taken care of. This is the problem with many of our filmmakers. Ray never took very good care of his technicians. Same can be said of Hrithik Ghatak. Same is to be said about Mrunal Sen. Same can be said about one or two Malayalam filmmakers. Same is to be said about all the filmmakers almost in Bombay, where in the name of extreme professionalism, the technicians, the extras have been simply exploited. People in Kerala and people in Bengal who talk so much about art film, if you were to turn to the directors of these art films, you will be disheartened. Their approach. They talk about the problems of existence of people, but they rarely address themselves to the problems of the technicians who are making their films possible. There is something hypocritical, something tragic, something evil about the whole thing.
Mamata Banerjee started his career as a chief minister of West Bengal in the year 210. I wrote him a letter. I am a film technician. I serve the industry like the technicians and the film editor and the president of the film editor association. Now I have no work. Now I have no work, so I cannot eat properly. So you help. You give me the pension for my living. But he didn't give anything to me. But only they are doing the festival, film festival, and the Uttam Kumar birthday ceremony, and the and give the some people they will give the assurance to give out the money.
In our country, we do a lot of celebration, but in my opinion, they are all ritualistic. Celebration of Tagore, 150 years, celebration of Vivekananda, 150 years, now celebration of 100 years of cinema. We don't know whether this 100 years really begins with Phalke, because even before that, Hiralal Sen made a film here, and recently I've seen a film in Malayalam film where a very interesting person, he started making film long back, but it was absolutely forgotten. So actually, this 100 years celebration is mostly the 100 years of Bombay cinema, in my opinion. The kind of functions we see all over the country, 100 years Bombay cinema. Anyway, but Dadasaheb Phalke made the film in Marathi, unfortunately, not in Hindi. So these are very ritualistic. I don't care much about it.
Today, when we are celebrating 100 years of film, I am thinking about this veteran editor and the other technician also. We are forgetting those good technicians, unfortunately.
There are lots of people in Maharashtra, in Pune, Bombay, and some people in Calcutta, in the Tollygunge area, the studios where they used to be. They say that cinema was there, Indian cinema, even before Phalke. So this is the first thing. So I should say so-called centenary. Then we come to the Indian bit. What do you mean by Indian cinema? There is no such thing as Indian cinema. Just as there is India and India and India, so many Indias, you have regional cinema. You have Marathi cinema, you have Malayalam cinema, you have Tamil cinema, you have Bangla cinema, you have Oriya Assamese cinema. There is no such thing as Indian cinema. So you should be like this. The so-called centenary of so-called Indian cinema, not centenary of Indian cinema. The whole terminology is wrong, and it has been designed to fit the designs of certain people, and they belong to the western part of the country.
Just imagine, in 100 years, we couldn't contribute a single equipment of cinema or related art. Not a single one, except one playback system which Nitin Bose and Mukul Bose introduced in Bhagya Chakra. It was a double version film in Hindi and Bengali way back in 1933, before Hollywood started. But patent was taken by the Hollywood. That was perhaps the only contribution. Otherwise, I really don't think we have not really invented or created any equipment for our industry. It's a shame.
Are we celebrating a few awards that a few well-known filmmakers have brought to this country? Are we celebrating an India that does not exist except in the films of Hindi commercial world, Hindi commercial films? What are we celebrating? I would say this: we should be ashamed of these celebrations in one sense. Nowhere do the drawers of water and the hewers of wood figure in these celebrations. Those who are responsible to a large extent in making Indian cinema possible, the time, the energy, all that they have given to this industry, their lives, how have many of those lives ended? Neglected in the wards, in the tuberculosis wards of many hospitals. When they have got a bed, when they have managed to get a bed in the TB hospital. Otherwise, they have died in some jhoparpatti, in some basti, in some slum. The money goes to the producer, the award goes to the director, the technicians are left in the lurch, and what to talk of those who are coming even lower down in the so-called film hierarchy. So what are we celebrating?
This man, born in 1928, is just 15 years younger than Indian cinema, which is celebrating its centenary this year. He gave 60 years of his life to cinema, initially working as assistant editor, then editing films on his own, later producing films and documentaries. When digital technology entered the scene, editing process became digital and he had to make his livelihood cutting negatives. Soon, with the spread of digital projection, even that job became redundant. And at present, his only connection with film industry is restricted to its past, that of cleaning and restoring old negative prints from the analogic era. While we are celebrating the centenary of Indian cinema, where do people like Arabindo figure? Is his life and career something to be forgotten and relegated to oblivion? Are lives and livelihoods like his mere occupational hazards or casualties inevitable and incidental to shifts in technology? Is it a question of persistence of memory or obsolescence of technology?
I am very much successful in my life. In all my pictures I have edited in very carefully and very consciously. If there is any fault, I can't allow this ठीक है छोड़ दो नहीं छोड़ेगा।
বসত কোনো হয় নাই সে, বসত কোনো হয় সে, বসত কোনো হয় নাই সে, লা 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 লা। রাজা দরবার রাধে মাজিয়া রা 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 রাধে মাজিয়া